test, please.
You know what I'm going to say. Warning, danger. You can't speak when I'm speaking, or else
Sorry.
you don't know whose mic works.
Oh, right.
How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to How Come. We are coming to you from Charlotte's apartment because today we have two men on the podcast, and Nanny said boys aren't allowed in the apartment
Not
anymore.
in her house.
We have two comedians. They are great people. They have some great stories. The wonderful Freddy G is here,
Oh, so happy to be here.
and Ray Gootz.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
It's going good.
All right, cool.
Freddie, I feel like you said that sarcastically.
Oh,
I'm
no,
happy
I always
to be
say
here.
it. I always sound sarcastic. No, I am happy to be here.
Everything he says sounds sarcastic.
Yeah. And
Great
only some of
set,
it is.
asshole.
Yeah.
So have you guys been watching The Bachelor this season?
I haven't watched any season.
You've never watched any
No.
season of The Bachelor?
No.
he's
Freddie,
a virgin bachelor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear people tweet about it or whatever.
Yeah, I read a tweet this morning that I thought was very interesting. It's from Maria Del Russo, who's a sex and wellness writer, and she brought up a point that I hadn't really thought of. She said, I usually feel many kinds of ways about The Bachelor, Bachelorette, but this season in particular makes me sick to my stomach because you are literally auctioning off this dude's first sexual experience, and it's gross as fuck. And if you don't believe me, literally all of the marketing around this season has been about the fact that this dude hasn't had sex. I don't watch this TV show. I don't even know The Bachelor's name, but I know that he hasn't had sex before.
I do know that the guy didn't have sex.
Right.
Is he a late bloomer or is he religious?
He's a loser.
He's knife. I mean,
What's it? It was these religious guys. We're both late bloomers. These religious guys, I mean, that's not, I don't know
he's
anything about
not
it at all.
religious.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing is like a lot of guys who are late in life people, like everyone's first assumption is, oh, he must be religious. Like there are other reasons to not have sex
Yeah, it
besides.
wasn't because of God.
How old is he?
As of March 9th, 2019, Colton Underwood is 27 years old.
Oh, okay.
Did
Yeah,
you?
it is a weird. I mean, it's a good, you need a twist. That was, what are they at season like 20?
Oh, it's got to be way past
Yeah, you
that.
gotta do
They
a twist.
explain his back because wasn't he in the NFL?
I don't watch it. I have no idea, but I
Okay.
think it's just...
You used to watch it.
I've seen 3 seasons.
Oh, so he was in the
Okay,
NFL.
but don't pretend.
He
I
was.
said I don't watch it,
Not-
so I don't know who he is.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know any
But
information
I
on
think
him.
I looked him up. He was in the NFL, which to me is like you have to really work at being a virgin
Right?
Oh, please.
if you're
yeah.
in the NFL.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because you wrote a really great article about being a late in lifer.
Yeah.
And one of the things you said is that this is such an uncommon thing because I'm a comedian, and somebody had said to you, even the most mediocre of comedians can get off stage and
get laid.
Like, it's crazy that you're not doing it.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that article in 2014, and I regret writing that article. Everything in that article is
Really?
false.
Oh, no.
It's bullshit. Don't listen to it.
Wait, okay, don't read the article. I didn't even say
Why-
the source. Ha.
Before you say what you're going to say, is it false because you've changed so much, or it genuinely was false then even?
No, it was false because I once I had sex, I realized like how stupid it was to wait for it. It's like waiting to go to the doctor, like you know what I mean, like
Right.
or waiting to get a haircut. Like, what are you waiting for? It's just a part of life.
But so you've changed and you've grown.
Yeah.
You
Some
weren't like
people
lying
like to
then.
have longer
wasn't
hair, and
lying
some
then.
people just want to stay sick.
No, I
you
know,
there's
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you waiting? Like I want sneakers. Okay, go to Foot Locker. Oh no, it's such a big deal to walk inside a Foot Locker. That's kind of.
Do you
like,
think it
and
was
now I
just
look back.
lazy?
So the premise of the article is that you were waiting for the right woman or something like that?
What the fuck was the premise back then?
The premise was that you weren't waiting for marriage.
I was waiting for the right one.
the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I wrote the article was I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 weeks before I wrote that article, remember that guy shot? I forget his
The
name.
shooting, right? The
He shot
incel?
all those women, and then his manifesto
Yeah.
came out that he was pissed they didn't have sex with him,
Yeah, I remember.
and that women are losers. It was the whole thing. Anyway, like people started writing all these articles condemning men who waited a long time, and I thought to myself, well, what if there's like a 19-year-old kid who was like, oh, look how everyone judges me because I waited, and then he becomes like this guy and starts shooting everybody. So I wrote the article to be like, listen, I was at the time I was 33. I was like, there's nothing wrong with waiting. You know, like you can have a lot of fun. You can do a lot of different things. Don't think that there's something wrong with you if you haven't had sex yet, you know?
Yeah.
And that article really didn't do anything because that guy is like, now he's a patron saint among the incel movement. And the incel movement is bigger than it was 4 years ago online.
Can you explain what an incel is?
An incel is a guy involuntary celibate. So it's not their fault they didn't have
Freddie
sex.
actually taught me what an incel. Do you
Oh
remember?
yeah, on the we had it.
Yeah, we
there was
had
an
a
episode that got
recording once
lost.
that got-
episode,
yeah, you know.
I was allowed in the grandma's apartment then. Yeah,
You
I'm
were allowed.
non-threatening. Yeah, I think it's Gootz that got us kicked out.
No, I never
it's-
met the grandma.
She just has new rules now.
Okay.
She's got new rules. She
But yeah,
counts
your
them.
your point, I think, at the end of the article was basically like, you can not have sex
And
and
not
not
blame
be
women.
fucking crazy. Yeah,
can-
not
yeah.
hate women.
You can't, like there's been women that generally fucked me over in life, but I'm not like, well, fuck all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And a lot of guys like that. Well, I've had 2 or 3 bad experiences with a couple of women, and there are awful women out there, awful humans. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
They're
That's-
awful people.
People are yeah.
But they then blame all girls.
Right.
You know, and it's like, that's not the point. And like at the time, I was working with all female cast in my web series, and all my friends were women. And I was like, you know, and that's what my whole point of the article was. Like, you can live a healthy life with women and stuff and still not be fucking all of them.
Yeah.
And that fell on deaf ears. That everyone just took from it like, I can't believe this guy didn't have sex. Like, you know what I
I'm
mean?
sure
Right.
it didn't, though, to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it seemed like it fell on deaf ears, but there are many people like you who have not had sex in terms of you back then.
Yeah.
I also think the term late in life or a late bloomer is so annoying because like I'm considerably a really late in life orgasmer, right? Like
Yeah.
what is late for anyone? And also like what we've learned over the course of this podcast is like everyone's body is a different shape and does things in different ways. Why not at different times?
Yeah.
You know, and so like we grew up in the city where like if you like I thought I was a late loser of virginity. I was 16 the first time I like attempted sex, you know, and
Oh, I
that
mean,
was,
yeah, all my
that was
friends-
like the last virgin standing.
All my friends
makes
banged
sense,
it
yeah.
out before they were 16, because I grew up in Astoria.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like by 13, people had boyfriends and like serious boyfriends. Like, where's this relationship going? You know, like stuff like that. And so, like, yeah, I felt that way too. Like, I felt like pressure to have a girlfriend by like 15, 16 and have sex and everyone. But the thing I really resent about people is that it's not, you know, it's not your business if I'm not fucking anybody. And like
Right.
so many
Totally.
people made it their business.
Unless
where-
they want to fuck you, then they're like, why aren't you
Exactly.
fucking me?
Yeah. So I go out with my friends and they'd be like, so when are you going to lose it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you get? Like, what is your house payment's going to go down if I fuck you?
Did you find the 40-year-old version set a bad example? Because in that movie, them doing that is kind of the catalyst for him changing his life.
Well, that movie, because now I'm 38. I'm going to be 38 next week. That's when I'm at my house party. But that movie, when that movie came out, I'm not going to reach that fucking movie. Like, whatever I have to do to not get to 40, I'm going to do it. And then finally, when I got to 37, I was like, all right, it's time.
What was the change?
Everyone in my life dying, basically. My dad didn't like the article. The article got picked up in a Mexican newspaper, and he's from Mexico, so he got really offended that people in Mexico knew his son was a virgin because he was like a really
it's very
macho.
like unmanly.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a very macho guy,
Yeah.
and he thought like I used to have female comics over for like to write in my room, and because I lived with him, I lived with my parents. That's the other thing I should probably get the backstory to. And he thought that I was having sex with them.
Slaying puss.
I was just banging all these, and in reality, we were really just writing. And I said, Dad, like a house is so small. Well, Dad, like you would hear it if we were. I thought you were really, really quiet. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
I was just up there respecting women.
yeah. I was just being
I'm
respectful.
so disappointed in you.
Yeah, exactly what it was. Yeah, like how dare you not fuck him? Yeah. So
Not in my house, you're not fucking.
are you actually writing? This is outrageous. Get out, you whore. So yeah, he kind of and my mom also wanted me to get a wife or whatever, and then she died, and then I was like, oh, I tried to make a bigger what do they call a bigger effort to get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then 2 years after my mom died, my dad died. So after my dad died, 3 years after, I was like, oh, you know, I kind of felt bad that I never had sex when he was alive. And
For his sake.
I can't
Yeah.
believe that was one of your first thoughts.
Yeah, like, oh, I
wish
should
I
have fucked while my dad was alive.
Well, he was disappointed I didn't do
Right.
it.
No,
Like,
but and that is such a machismo thing, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of guys can probably relate to that sentiment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like was really like he kind of got over it as the years because then he was depressed that mom died. But so then finally, like I decided, like they died, and then my 2 aunts who I lived with also they died, and everyone's dead. So I was like, now that everybody's gone, nobody can tell me what to do. I don't want to. Well, here's the other thing. I don't want to die alone because I saw what the government does to people's monies at the home if you don't have a family or kids or a wife. So I said, well, eventually I want a wife and a kid. And being a virgin was like really in the way now because I'm in my 30s, and there was always a wall between me and a woman when we would get close. There'd be a wall, and then like she would just go to somebody else. And I was like, okay, I got to take down that wall. I've got to get rid of it. So I've got to lose my virginity. So that's why I made the decision to lose it. Because I got to get rid of this if I'm ever going to be serious with a woman and have kids and have a family. This has to go. And so I decided to get rid of it.
Are you a Harry Potter fan?
No.
Oh, all right.
That's
I was just gonna
fucking
say.
question.
I was just gonna say though. It's like how like everybody in his life had to die before he could fully like take his power. And
It opens
shit.
at the close.
Yeah, it opens at the close.
He's a fan of
See,
super-
Now
this
you're a
is
fan
also-
of what I've just said.
This is also every superhero
always a
story.
Yeah, this is-
Exactly. Every superhero story is like you have to like everyone just has to die, and then you have to
And
like
then you go
take
find-
hold of your life. Yeah.
And your powers.
How was the first time?
Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking because well, I'll tell you where I lost it. It was at the Bunny Ranch,
Do you know where
in
the Bunny Ranch is?
Nevada. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Do our listeners know what the Bunny Ranch is?
Do you wanna
they
tell
should.
them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only legal brothel in the United States.
There used to be a reality show about it.
There was that's how I knew about it.
Yeah.
HBO had a show about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the guy's a comedy fan, the owner, and he would come to Caroline's to hang out with like comedians sometimes, like Rich Voss and I think Artie Lang and stuff like that. So yeah, I decided to lose it there because I wanted to lose it someplace where it's safe, presumably, and someplace where like I couldn't get arrested. I don't want to do anything illegal.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be safe and I wanted to be non-judgmental. And I also wanted to get away from the city.
Right.
Because I haven't taken a vacation. So me and my friend went first we went to Las Vegas. We spent the day there. And then we drove. It was a 7-hour drive from Vegas to the ranch. And on the way to the ranch, the owner of the ranch dies.
What?
Yeah. So yeah. So like we got in the car.
Ominous at all.
You should have shut up earlier. Yeah.
I know. Well, we got in the car at 11, and they found his body at noon. He had died in his bed. Ron Jeremy found the body.
What?
What a
Yeah.
life this guy
This
led.
is wild.
What a day.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I was really concerned in the car ride because I was like, oh God, what if we get there and like CBS is there? Because I didn't know how he died at the time. I think it was just a stroke.
And CBS, what is you're doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what if, like, somebody, like, one of the girls murdered him and see this whole big murder scene and stuff, and we pull up, and I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And, but it wasn't like that. He just thought it was stroke, and I thought it also going to be closed, but we called, and they're like, no, he would want the show to go on, so they were open. So, well, I got there, like, by, like, 12, 1 a.m., and they were open, so
And the show went on.
the show went on. Yeah, so...
So what's it like when you get there? Like, did you have an appointment? Like,
No.
how did you know? Did you know
You
that?
should watch an episode of the show. But yeah, I feel like I know that it's from seeing,
I did
from having
watch it,
watched the
but
HBO
years
show.
ago.
Oh, okay. It was called Cat House, by the
Yes.
way.
I don't remember the front desk experience.
Well, the front desk experience is it first of all looks like an abandoned mansion, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a haunted house, and you ring a bell, and brrr, and the buzzer answers, and the gate swings open. And then this woman in sweatpants answers the door, like, "Stand here."
She's in sweatpants.
Yeah, she's in sweatpants and like a hoodie.
Has a
I
cigarette.
love that.
Yeah, I think she did have a cigarette. actually.
Welcome.
No, not even welcome. Stand here.
Stand
Well,
here.
she's working with exclusively horny dudes, so it's smart to dress down.
Yeah.
Also, when you walk in, there's a
Totally.
purple candle, and it says "In memory." I forget the guy's name. And so then they have 5 women walk out, and you're not allowed to speak to them, and they're not allowed to speak to you. All they can do is walk up to you. Hi, my name is da da da. Hi, my name is da da da. Like the Musketeers, and then they stand in a line. You have to pick
like
one.
Liesel.
Yeah, and so you have like so there was only 5. I think there might be more if I went to a different time of day, but also like I don't know. It was a sad day there, so they weren't too enthused.
Did you know that he died?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my people were texting me the news story.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I called.
Right.
Like, because
Yeah.
this is like my big, I spent all this money to go down there.
Yeah. But you didn't want to give it a day for just people to kind of.
No, he wanted to have sex. He was ready.
No, yeah,
Everyone's
because
dying. He needs to go.
We had an itinerary. We were going to go to Reno the next day and then Death Valley the day after.
All right, so,
We had an
so
itinerary
it's
to stick
fucking then
Yeah.
Reno then
Yeah,
Death Valley.
travel is
Fine.
difficult. You can't change your
It's-
plan.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Yeah, I mean, if they were closed, I would have skipped Reno and went like
Sure.
the next morning.
Yeah. All right, so it's a
Whenever they're
somber
over
day.
his day.
Everyone's in line, lined up like the Von Trapps.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, if they closed, then that overnight there would have been guys just lining up outside waiting to reopen. It would have been really sad.
Well, here's the thing: they had to close 2 days later for a while because he was the only one with the license. And they had to reapply to the woman he willed the place to had to reapply. And now they're open now because he won the he was also running for city council.
yeah.
He won the election after he died.
Oh,
Yeah. So
So what about this sexual experience like makes you think that the 2014 Salon article was like a lie? Like what happened that changed your mind so much?
oh well because first I was very nervous because I had never had I never been that intimate with a stranger before. Like anyone who I've like, because I've hooked up with girls, but never sex. But like when I hooked up with girls, it was always someone who I knew for a while, so it felt very comfortable. This was just like, hi, how are you? Good. Here's your money. And then we went, and then there's a time limit too, so it was very
Yeah.
nerve wracking at first.
Stressful.
Were they clothed when they were in line?
Yeah, but they're wearing like their underwear
Like
and like sexy,
negligees?
either sexy pajamas or sexy robes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just have to point
Just to
and
pick
go.
one and be like, you.
Wow.
Yeah. And I went with I went with a girl. She kind of looked like every like comedy club waitress, like white, short, long black hair. Like she was 23. She was 23.
Okay.
So I went with her. Her name was Remy.
What?
Wait, what's the girl? Was it really Remy? Hold on, wait a second. Shit, what the fuck was her name? What's the girl who runs the shows at the Lantern now? Not the Lantern, the Grizzly Pear. It's the same name as her.
Riley.
Riley. Her name is Riley.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Such a
I
prostitute
was
name,
like,
yeah.
what?
But very
I've
similar.
only heard of dogs named Remy.
Yeah, Riley, that was her name. So first it was very nerve wracking because I thought so I went in there and I told the girl my situation, and I assumed that these girls are like almost like mechanics. They're like, I got it.
Yeah.
And I could see like her head exploding as I'm telling her. I'm doing the whole backstory. Everyone's dead. I never had sex.
Yeah.
And I want to do it now. We're not leaving this room.
Like a masseuse. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of pressure do you want?
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
what I
are you?
thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and instead I could just see like I could tell like, oh, I think I picked the wrong one because like it looked
You
like
could
her brain.
see her brain moving.
Yeah, like what's going on? Like I think she was very much used to just basic. I hate to say this about a woman, but being a hole. Because she
right.
told me like guys would just come
Definitely.
in there and tell her don't
Totally.
talk
Yeah.
and fuck her and leave.
Yeah.
And I come in with this whole backstory, and she's got to take my virginity, and and she was like, I could tell, but she was like not trying to sell it.
Yeah.
So then after you tell the situation, you agree on the price, you have to go with your credit card and they have to run it in another room. And my credit card got declined the first time because they were like, why are you charging all this money like halfway
In
across
Nevada,
the country?
yeah.
Yeah. At like 1 a.m. But then I got it. So it was like nerve wracking. But then as it got less, I talked with her and I showed her pictures of my dog and we talked about stand up. And she was a big fan of Chris DiStefano. So that somehow got her more into me than I knew Kristy Steffano.
Yeah.
Chris
Well, like,
DiStefano?
Yeah,
she
DiStefano.
became
Kristy Steffano. I was like, who's Kristy and why don't I know
I
about
always called
her?
her by mistake.
But it's
Krista
like
Steffano.
you became a real person to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she got really good at it because she started really kissing my neck and stuff. And I realized I liked that. Like, and also the ear. She was kissing the ear a lot. And then I started getting really, really more comfortable. And then the other thing too was like, at first we were like completely naked, and that freaked me out because
Yeah.
again, I never been like just naked. I just met you and now we're naked. Like
Did
that's
she
not
That's a lot for
undress
anyone,
you?
honestly.
what.
Did
no,
she-
you have to take a shower. Like as soon, when the clock starts.
That's a real yeah. Oh my god.
Wait, so
what
you
a
like
policy.
that?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
first get in and she's like, okay, get undressed, or you told her
Well, first no, we go in.
first you go and you talk.
we
then
negotiate
the
what we
credit
want.
card was declined.
Yeah, and then the credit card gets approved.
Then the credit card gets
And
approved.
as soon as the credit card gets approved, you're on the clock.
Okay.
And the first thing she tells you is get undressed and go into the shower, take a shower. Mm-hmm. And I feel personally it should be off the clock, but whatever.
I was going to
agree.
say, yeah, that's not fair.
There
They're
should be a
encouraging it.
locker room downstairs, and then
Yeah.
you can arrive fresh.
They're encouraging you to take a quick shower.
And then the other thing too is like the water takes a while to get warm. there. It was
You're like, please heat.
Yeah, I was like, come on, I gotta. So I took, and I took a shower in the hotel room. My friend told me you gotta take a full shower because this girl doesn't know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll take another shower. So
How long is the clock?
I at the first point I bought 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then so just taking the shower. So then I walk out naked, and she's naked. And then eventually I was like, can I put my underwear back on? Because it was like too nerve-wracking just to be completely naked.
Yeah.
And so I put the underwear back on. And when I put the underwear back on, it was easier. It was like much more.
Was there a bed and chairs?
Yeah, there's a bed, there's a chair. I also got a free bottle of wine because I spent so much money. Do you guys
Very
want to know how much I
nice.
spent before we?
Oh,
continue?
sure.
The grand total I spent was $5,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's like working comic for 5 years.
Yeah, it was. Well, I went in there with a budget of $2,000 to $3,000. So I figured it was gonna be expensive because this is illegal.
Yeah.
And the first half hour and a half was $4,000, but I didn't come within the 90 minutes, so I had
Okay.
to re-up for another half hour. Which, by the way, I have to get dressed, go back to the other room, run your credit card again. Yeah. So
So then you went back with the same girl?
Well, wait.
Yes.
No, but the first sex,
yeah.
when you were getting going, so she's kissing on your neck, you're clean,
Yeah.
you're in your underpants.
Yeah.
Did she initiate everything? Like,
She that's the thing. She sits and goes, "What do you want me to do?"
okay.
And then I'm like, I don't know. Like, aren't you supposed to just know what to do? You know?
Yeah.
But you have to direct her, like almost like it's an improv troupe. And you're like, and now do this. And the other thing too, I like talking or role playing. So I was like, well, can you like talk or play a character? She's like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, all right, like, can you be mean to me? And she was like, okay. And then her mean to me was like, oh, I'm the best. You have a big cock. You have a big cock. You have a big cock. And I'm like, that's not really
That's
mean.
not so mean.
That's really, I know, but a lot of guys like to hear that. And I go, yeah, but that.
That's not
Not
what I
in the
just
middle.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
a
and then
bad
I-
listener.
Yeah, she's a bad listener.
So like I had to like guide her. I had to like ask her I go, I'm just gonna ask you questions and you just go yes or
Well, if she could act, she'd be acting. Yeah.
I know. So that's it. But that's the thing. Like I was trying to work her to do things that would get
Yeah.
me more into it, and like you could tell like she really didn't have a lot of imagination.
right.
you
Do you
know?
think she seemed uncomfortable though?
No, she was never uncomfortable.
No.
She just
She
was,
just
like, trying to
wasn't good
figure
at her
out-
job.
She was just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
The problem with guys liking young girls is then once they learn how to do this well, then they're like maybe aging out or or
Well, no, I could
Do you
tell this.
specifically like young girls or?
No, like the girl I'm kind of seeing now, she's 21.
So yes.
So yeah, I kind of
Are
gravitate
you
more
guys
towards
banging?
the reason why I gravitate more towards younger girls is at my age,
Yeah.
girls my age, like they want to get married, and I do want to get married,
Yeah.
but I don't want to wind up with someone's going to rush me into anything.
Okay.
Your
And I-
timeline's a little like different. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a big rush to get married, and also the stand-up thing is like a sticking point. Like I was hanging out with this girl, and she was like 28. She's like, "So you ever thought about going back to managing?" And I'm like, "No, why would I do that?"
Yeah.
Let's just, like at a nightclub, you could make a lot more money. And I could already tell, like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about the money. And where a girl who's like 21, 22, 23, they don't care about that.
They're not
Like,
trying
They
to-
still believe in the dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
gonna make it. Like I still have a few more years.
Yeah.
Until they're like, have you thought about going back to college? Have you?
So you kind of have them in installments.
Yeah.
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 Or like a lease.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But the reason why I picked the 23, I didn't know she was 23. It's just that the other girls weren't that great looking. There was
Okay.
like one who was good looking, but I could tell like she was like kind of like bitchy. I didn't want anyone being judgmental. Being
Okay.
like, I can't believe you did do this. I'm
Yeah,
like, shut
yeah.
up.
I mean, that was the worst thing when I would be like, "Oh yeah, I have an orgasm." She'd be like, "Never," but like by yourself.
Oh,
I'm
some
like,
people
"No,
you say
no."
that to you?
Oh my, everyone.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But yeah, it's just like, okay, so my timeline's a little delayed.
Yeah,
what-
she seemed like a nice girl.
so isn't there a percent of women who never orgasm though?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's weird that
There
people would
is.
assume all women yeah.
But
yeah,
also,
no, but
like-
there's men. I mean, like you yourself. I mean, we haven't really gotten to.
Yeah, we'll
Freddy.
get into that. Yeah. I didn't orgasm while I was awake till I was 23.
But it was
But I want to interrupt Ray. We're just getting to the climax of Ray's story. Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
back to Ray.
What question? Oh, okay.
You asked him if he's banging his.
Oh yeah, the
girl he's seeing
the
now.
girl that you're seeing now.
No, we're not banging. But it's a lot more closer than it was before I had sex.
Yeah,
But I still want to know why your mind changed about your article.
Okay, so finally, when I re-upped the second half hour, that's actually when Kristy Steffano came up, and she got really Kristy Steffano.
Yeah.
And that's when she got really into me. Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay, take the underwear off. She took the underwear off. That was the condom too. What was fucking me up? Because she tried to go right into sex when we started.
Yeah.
She's putting the condom on, and I'm not hard yet.
Oh God.
And
Who would do that?
What?
I know. She's just like, okay. I go. I guess get on top of me. And she goes, okay, but I don't know. So she put the condom on like first thing, and then she's on top of me, and I'm like, this isn't working.
What
and
the fuck?
You gotta people. Foreplay is so
It's
important.
everything.
Yeah.
It's most of sex.
Because in my head, I'm thinking the clock. Something like, well, this girl's going to be, because she was really hot, this girl's going to be so amazing that as soon as she sits on top of me,
Bing.
bing,
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. Like, we had the talk. We had
Yeah.
the foreplay. But then finally we're doing it. And then when I came right before the fucking time ran out.
Just like a condom.
Like, it was like a
Saved by
3-pointer in
the
an NBA
bell.
game. Yeah. At the end, I was like, oh, that wasn't that scary. Like, that wasn't that bad. And like the first 90 minutes, I was like freaking out. I was scared. I was like,
Had you ever come in front of a person before?
no. I've got a girl. Yeah, I did. A girl jerked me off 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that like part of it? Because that was part of it for me, was being like, oh my God, I'm going to be letting somebody into this like wild, like uncontrolled, vulnerable side of me.
No,
yeah.
you know what it was? And I told her, I said, all the time in my past, when I've gotten intimate with a girl, like I was hooking up with this girl who's a virgin. Too. And she had very strict, like she was like crazy with certain things, but there were other things she was like, stop! Like, that'd be it. And I keep waiting for someone to hit me over the head. Like, that's it. And you're not doing that. And I don't know. It's scary. Like, I keep waiting for someone to come in and be like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, or
yeah,
like you to
it's
be
like
like,
a learned
no, you
behavior.
can't touch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing we couldn't do was kiss. That was the only thing we couldn't do on the
Sure.
lips. Yeah.
Did that ruin things for you at all? Or?
No. I didn't want to kiss from the mouth. So.
Okay.
Because I don't know. That's the one thing they tell you not to do with prostitutes.
In general, do you like kissing though?
Yeah.
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 Kissing's great.
Yeah, kissing's great. Yeah. And after I came, I was like, I didn't really feel any different. And then the moment I walk out of the room, my friend sat at the bar and got drunk the whole time that I was having sex.
Yeah.
Well, he brought a book. He brought a book. His thing was, I'm going to read and drink.
What a friend.
All the other girls came to try to get their shot in to get him. And he was arguing with one about something. So I'm kind of just sitting
He's like,
there.
hush, I'm reading.
Yeah, I want to leave. I'm done.
Only talk to me if you want to talk about Nietzsche.
Yeah, he was reading some book about Vietnam or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were like making fun of him. Why are you here reading? He goes, because I'm here for my friend.
Yeah.
And he told him the whole story. But one girl, like, he was hammered by the time I got out. So he was really debating something with one of the girls. So he was really into it. So I was kind of just sitting there, and I wanted to leave, and he's not moving. And in the other room, all these other girls are in the other room, the whole staff, like, hey, we're watching a movie. Do you want to come in the other room, watch the movie? And I'm like, all right. So I go in the other room, and they're watching Ant-Man and Wasp, which is a Marvel movie.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, this is so funny. I came all the way across the world to have sex with a hooker in the Bunny Ranch, and now I'm sitting in a room with the staff watching a fucking comic book movie. You know what I mean?
What a
Like, everything
day.
is the same.
Everything's the same.
Everything is different, but it's totally the same.
Yeah, everything's the same. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big of a. That's when I realized
Yeah,
watching
it's not a
Ant-Man and
big deal.
Wasp with all the hookers that nothing really. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to have sex, and I should have done it when I was a teenager.
I mean, I had sex. I guess now it feels relatively early, but at the time I felt like it was
How old were
so
you?
late. Only 16.
Oh,
like at the
yeah.
end of 16, but still, I felt like there's so much pressure. Like I need to have sex, and then when I started having sex, I kept it secret for a year because I wanted to get good at sex.
Yeah.
I wanted to practice, but which is such a weird, like the way that you get good at sex is just by like listening to the other person that you're with and hopefully telling them what you want to. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, and it just and like now like things are so different. Like I hooked up with this girl I met on Instagram. I've done a lot of like girls I feel are more into me now.
Do you think that they're more into you, or you're just a little more confident now?
Yeah.
I think-
less uneasy.
A little bit more confident, but I also
Yeah.
think that thing was a huge barrier. Like I
Totally.
think
But
like girls
confidence
be
is
into
a
me.
huge attractor too.
No, I wasn't.
No, I'm saying confidence.
Oh, confidence.
Once
okay,
you
yes,
gain
yeah.
that,
Because now I know, like, because there were a couple of girls who were like my friends, and they would be like, "Oh, I fucked this guy the other night, and then I fucked 2 other guys the other night." So I would be like, "Hey, why don't we just have sex? Because apparently, like, you don't give a shit." and then I will have this
No,
off my
no.
back. What?
That's not true.
No, I know. I know that now. It's like, I'll have this off my back, and then like just help me,
Yeah.
Oh no, this is a really big deal. Like your first time, it's a really big deal, and you're always gonna remember me. And I don't want you becoming obsessed with me. And I can't remember what this girl looks like. The girl that I lost it to.
Right.
I even forgot her name.
Riley.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just was always a barrier between
Yeah.
me and women, and I feel like now it's gone. So I have confidence because I know what to do.
And you don't have to have that conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
There
yeah.
not that thing of like, when is it my responsibility to tell her or something?
Well, sometimes I would meet a girl at a bar, and I'd be with other comics or my friends, and they would get pissed because the girl was really into me, and they would walk up and be like, "Yo, you got to help out my boy. He's a virgin." And that would be a way for people to just
I hate that.
shut down.
Yeah.
And then that girl would like talk to you for a little bit longer. Oh, why are you a virgin? Oh, it's like I can fucking explain.
Then you're
this.
like a show pony. It's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Like, come look at the virgin.
Yeah.
Come one, come all.
There was a comedy.
nobody.
There was a comedy podcast. I don't want to say who
Come
he is because he's my
nobody.
friend, but there was a comedy podcast. They said, "Why don't you come on and talk about all the sexual stuff?" There's a lot of rape going on in Nickelodeon. That's a whole other episode.
Oh,
Why don't you come on?
We really just broke a lot of news out of nowhere.
Dropping bombs.
Anyway, a lot of people are getting raped on Nickelodeon. Anyway, so why don't you come on and talk about the Nickelodeon stuff? I was like, okay, cool, because I know a lot about it. I've done some research to what's going on over there. So I go on, I sit down, they go, "So we hear you're a virgin." And then they had some hooker, like rubber ass near me. "Oh, don't you want to fuck that, Ray?" And I was like, what the fuck, man? I came here to talk about...
That is so like.
It's
Not
so
dehumanizing's not the word, but it's like it really does
It's-
make you an object,
it's
not
Yeah.
a
very
person.
inconsiderate.
It's so
'Cause If you
inconsiderate.
also think about, or you're not thinking about, well, how did this person get to this point and why? And then, let's go against the fact that they're probably uncomfortable. They,
Yeah.
like.
And that's when I made the decision. Like, I'm talking about it now with you guys because this is a sex podcast and I
Yeah,
lost it.
yeah.
But I made the decision, like, because I was going to be on Mike Racine's podcast early in the week, and he's my friend, but I called him and said, "Listen, you probably aren't going to do this, but if you bring up my virginity, I'm not even going to keep talking. I'm just going to walk out of the pod. Like,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
here to talk about
It's
crime.
part of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you you. It's like
Yeah.
one little thing
Yeah.
of all of Ray.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just think it's important to bring up because I know that when I, outed myself as a non-comer, like I thought I was completely alone out there. And then there were all these, people popping up being like, wow.
A lot of people, because I also did Guys We Fucked. And I
Right.
talked about it. Yeah. And a lot of women have that's the other thing. Like, after that show, I got a lot of women following me, and they were like, "Oh, we totally relate to your story. Like, I waited a long time." I feel
Is
bad
that
'cause
how you
one-
met your girl that you're hooking up with now? Like, did she
I met a girl from Instagram off that podcast.
off that podcast? Yeah, nice.
That I hooked up with. The girl I'm kind of seeing now, when she's not my girlfriend, which is why I'm hooking up with other girls. That I knew a long time. Like, but we had like sort of relationship.
You seem so changed.
I know, right?
Yeah.
we had a relationship before I had sex, but it was very like, I don't know. It was very much like. She would get nervous if like things got a little bit more closer.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she came to one of my shows the week after I got back from Vegas, and I did my new material about having sex, and she felt like a different person. Like when we go, she was, "Oh my God, you finally did it! Wow!" And it was like, it feels down like it's a completely different relationship. It feels much closer. It feels a lot. I can be more flirty.
Yeah.
I can be more open with her,
Yeah.
and like
That's
we're
awesome.
growing closer, which is cool.
Yeah.
You
Do
know.
you feel more adult?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say like the articles, because I really feel like I could have been having these type of relationships with women in 2014 or 1998.
Absolutely.
Yeah, rather than
Yeah. The
Do you think
second
you'll
you do
rewrite
it, you're
it?
like, holy shit, I'm so dumb.
Yeah, so
like,
if I want to write another article for that site because that's the other reason I had sex. That's the other reason. When you Google me, that article comes up. You know Melissa Diaz?
I do.
When she decided to get into comedy like years ago. And she goes like, well, she Googled stand-up comedy.
She was a late orgasmer as well.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And you know what came up when she Googled stand-up comedy? Ray Gootz is a virgin.
Oh my God.
That article. And so she knew about me being a virgin before we met. So when she met me, I remember she came up to me, the Grizzly Pear, and she was like all nervous. Like, why the fuck is this girl so nervous? She had been she read that article like a couple of months before that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the virgin
The
famous comedian guy.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You're like, I need to lose this just for SEO optimization.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So I lost it, and I want to write another article for Salon, but I feel like they're not going to publish it because my new article's like, fuck that last article, lose it as soon as you can.
But
You know
that's
what?
such an important point of view.
Yeah,
'cause you're
people
still
like
you.
to see growth too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Definitely. And it's not like you fundamentally change who you are in your heart as a person.
No.
Like you're
Yeah,
just
you
maybe-
still are that soft guy who's never hated women, never been like, it's your fault. Like, that's the thing with incels that I don't think we really extrapolated on, is that, like, incels are super angry that they're not getting fucked. They call themselves involuntary celib. You can go, like, there are girls who want to fuck people too, and they also feel alone. You just kind of have to open yourself up, and yeah, you're gonna get rejected a few times. That shit sucks, but like, if we all make more of an effort.
But also, I mean, they could also pay for it.
They could also pay for
They
it.
also,
Well,
not
incels are
not
crazy.
$5,000 like I did.
Like these are not normal people.
no, I know.
No.
But I mean, like,
But
you know, you everyone is voluntary celibate. If you really want to have sex right
You
now,
can.
tonight, and you have money in your bank account, you can do it. Like, it's not, I don't really see it now. It's like, oh, you had sex with a prostitute or something. Sex is just a thing that you do. It's an activity, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned guys we fucked. Christina Hutchinson got.
She mentioned that on the episode. Yeah.
And she, it sounded like a really great time. He sounded like he knew what the fuck he was doing. Oh yeah, I actually told you that when we were talking about
Yes,
this,
in the
because
green
I
room.
was like, oh, was she so skilled? And you were like, she was the worst.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, I feel like I would have had a better experience with someone older.
Yeah.
She only been doing it for a month, and I got the impression that, like, she kind of got roped into this, and it's not. I suspect if I went back there, she'd be gone.
Okay.
You
Well,
know?
she sounds like she sucks with the whole condom on a limp dick. Who does that?
I
Well,
know.
that sounds like somebody who didn't want to be there, who didn't necessarily want to keep this job. Maybe it was like a last resort or something.
Yeah, and I think that's why
Yeah.
she went so high. Also, like, I know all the other girls like were like rolling their eyes that I picked her. My friend told me at the bar, like, why do you pick the new girl? And then when they said it was a virgin, they were like, I don't know why you went with that new girl. Like, well, how am I going to know she's the new girl?
You know what? They should have treated it more like a medical marijuana dispensary or something, where like
Yeah.
you go up, there's a menu.
This is the
you
right
know,
one for you.
Well,
this is
the
one
yeah.
for
woman at the front
friendship.
desk should have been
This
like, "What's
is
your
what-
situation?"
Exactly.
And I would have been, "I'm a
Or
virgin."
what do you like? Do you like BDSM? Do you like, you know, like we have
Well, that girl
bondage.
asked you in the room. She does. Like, if I said I want to get tied up, she would have done it.
Yeah.
But
No, but pro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, specialization.
A
Well,
special-
that girl,
Specialist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once that girl had me, she wasn't gonna let me. Well,
Yeah. Can
my
we talk
one-
to Freddy now?
I'm sorry. Yeah, talk to Freddy now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a delayed time since we've spoken to Freddy, and you had a delayed orgasm. Is that
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it's
I
called?
just, when I was a kid, I was like too nervous to masturbate.
Really?
Yeah. I just never did. People would start talking about it. I just never did it. Yeah. Like, I was just, it made me nervous. My dad was like, just move your penis up. It wasn't like demonstrating. He was like, if you move your penis up and down, it just happens. And then I tried that and it didn't work.
So you broached the subject with him, though. You were like, something's up. Everyone's
I didn't
doing this
tell him
thing
at
and-
that point. He had told me before I got hit puberty. Also, like, I hit puberty at like 13, 14.
Okay.
And some of, a lot of, there's, like in my junior high school, these guys were like, hitting puberty at like 11. So I was a little bit of like a legit late bloomer.
Were you getting boners?
Yes.
And so
Sometimes
you're
I
just
would
walking
sexually
around with
fantasize just to get the
boners
boner. Yeah.
and be like, I'm too scared to do anything with this boner. And then
Yeah.
I think that's probably why
I
you're
think
like,
there's some myth, at least for me, like, because you can like, the thing that gives you a boner is blood, and the thing that like makes you cum is like cum. Like, I'm like now, like my sex drive is not that high now, right? I really went on took a left turn, but yeah, basically, like sometimes like now, like I can my sex drive is pretty low. Like I can come every couple days, and I'll get boners when I'm not even able to come.
interesting.
Yeah, like so they're really separate drives almost. The boner, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I've sometimes I've masturbated and I don't even have a boner and I'm able to come. Like they're somewhat separate. They're related but separate. Yeah,
You can come without having a boner sometimes?
I know it's technically possible, and sometimes maybe like the last second you have a boner, but like
Interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of a different drive.
So wait, if you were just to like describe, our listeners don't know you at all.
Yeah. Well,
Your-
they
your
know too much
history.
already. Yeah,
Now they know a little bit.
yeah.
But I guess your history of like whether it's like masturbation or sex and like when you felt that it was something you were like, wait a second, I might not be exactly like everyone else. Even
I
if
was
you
just
are,
like, I don't know how to do this.
You didn't. You
Like
just
I
didn't
can't
know.
ride a bike. Like I'm just like I have phobias. I was like afraid of it. I'm afraid of like losing control.
Yeah,
And then I was like, well, I tried a little bit, and then I'm just like scared of this.
totally.
And then when
I was
would
really
have
afraid
nocturnal
of riding a
eventually-
bike. I get that.
Yeah. Then when I'd have nocturnal emissions, it would like hurt a little bit.
Would you
So then I
wake
was like,
up
maybe it's
while
gonna
you
hurt.
were doing it? Like,
Would
would
I
you
what?
wake up in pain and be like, ow.
Yeah, it would wake up. Yeah, it would be like, oh man, that didn't really feel too good. Yeah, nocturnal emissions don't feel that great.
Interesting. Have you ever had wet dreams?
No.
Never.
No, I never had a wet dream. You mean like you come in your sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've woken up with hard-ons, and I've had dreams where I'm masturbating.
Yeah.
And I wake up before I come, but I'm not actually masturbating. It's all in my head. Like my hands are like away.
That's so wild. I mean, girls have that too. It's like, I still don't understand how that works. The brain's insane. That it
Yeah.
can make you feel
Yeah.
something that's not happening.
I've also
Yeah.
had dreams where I'm hooking up with a chick, but again, I don't wake up like with cum on me or anything. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a. I'm not going to tell this story. Anyway. Yeah. So so you started talking about it with your dad. Was he like concerned, or was
Oh, it
he
wasn't like I
kinda
didn't go out
pissed?
and like tell him.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, I just hadn't done it. I knew it was weird. At some point, it's like, well, it's kind of weird. Everyone's masturbating. It's like, also, yeah, as a guy, anything guys are supposed to do, we assume 100% of guys do.
Yeah. And so you're like, am I
Yeah.
fucking weird?
Yeah, so
Or-
according to like everyone, 100% of guys masturbate before they're 13 or 16 or whatever.
Not true.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So you think
Yeah.
you're the only one.
Right.
Yeah. And then I just never did. Then in college, I would lie about it. But then in college, people don't really want to think about your roommates masturbating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think in college, like in college, I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course I masturbate. And they're like, well, there's 3 of us in this bedroom. When are you doing it?
Felt great.
Yeah.
Did you feel the need to lie to women ever about it?
I was also like a late bloomer with that.
Okay.
So I didn't go on my first date till I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
like, it was the first time I
post-college
kissed a girl.
probably.
Yeah.
Really?
Second term of senior year.
Interesting.
So it wasn't like, yeah. Also, women aren't asking you if you're masturbating. Yeah, the less they know, the better.
That's
The less
true.
they don't want to know anything. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess guys in high school would ask us if we were masturbating, but I don't think women do the same to guys. Like, hey, you jacking off every day?
True.
Ray, are you jacking off every day?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
Well, especially back in the day.
Did you always? Yeah.
Yeah, before
okay.
sex, yeah, I had to.
When did you start?
I'm gonna say 12.
Do you remember your first orgasm?
Yeah, I think it was about the girl from Saved by the Bell, Kelly Kapowski. Like, orgasms is just you come, right?
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no. Sometimes people have them like dry orgasms.
Like, what's that?
Like you get the feeling, but nothing comes out.
Because your body's like not producing cum yet.
Yeah, well, I think I wasn't producing cum yet, so yeah. So I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
those. Yeah, it was about the girl from Saved by the Bell.
How was your
And-
technique?
Oh, I humped bed. The first time I did it, I was humping the bed.
Very nice.
Yeah. I didn't realize you could like manually. My friend had to explain to me like, you're not supposed to hump the bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
has to explain to you, like you put your hand around it. And
Yeah,
you're like,
like-
oh, that's a really good idea.
I don't even know. I think I was just like I was staring at her and I was like just rubbing the bed the first time I did it. And I was like, what's going on? And I kept doing it. And I was like, oh, that works out great.
That is the best.
Yeah,
She was
plus,
really hot.
I don't have to take any of my clothes off. This is great,
Yeah.
I think when I was going through puberty, she was the girl from Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, she was already on
yes.
that, but I liked her
Yeah.
more. At Saved
But I would think about her and get erections and stuff. Yeah. But then
Wait, how
wouldn't
old
do
are you,
anything
Freddy?
with it. I'm 35. I think I'm like a year or two younger than you, Ray. Right?
Yeah, I'm 37. So
So where are you
38
from
next
again?
week.
What?
Where are you from
I'm
again?
from a different part of Queens.
Okay.
A
nice.
less sexual part, apparently. Yeah.
So was everybody else being way more sexual than like were your friends?
I mean, I was with the nerdy kids who were also the
Okay.
late bloomery type.
Okay.
Also, I didn't have that many friends in high school. So I had friends in junior high school, and then my graduating class in 8th grade was 54 kids, and then my graduating class in high school was 1,100 kids. Mm-hmm. So it was much bigger school, and I was much shyer
Yeah.
and just like miserable for 4 years.
When was the first time you started being like, all right, I'm gonna make this happen. I need to jack off.
It wasn't it wasn't even like that.
Oh.
I in a drunken hookup and then I could have graduated college, but I went back for a 5th year because like I was just starting to kind of bloom a little bit and like at least like make out with girls and stuff. And then I brought a girl home and she gave me a blowjob and I came. And then she left immediately, and I remember being so excited that like I thought I had like some kind of disability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember just being so
You're like,
happy.
I'm not broken.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, that's how I felt
Yeah.
too.
And
did
I
you
did-
cry? Because
yeah.
I cried.
I didn't cry. I did taste it. Yeah, I did go for it. Yeah.
You tasted your own cum?
Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is a celebratory
Like, I
moment.
gotta
Yeah.
know.
Very normal.
Yeah, I don't think from what I remember.
Really?
Yeah, from what I remember, it's have an interesting taste. Yeah, I was just like, I'm doing it. Yeah,
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm like, this happened. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, something weird. Yeah.
It's
Ray,
so
have you ever
crazy.
tasted?
No.
Really?
No, I never taste my own.
Well, I was gonna say it's so crazy because everyone's first reaction to like tasting cum is like, ew, you what? And then we're like, we do it all the time.
Yeah, you drink other people's cum, but you won't taste your own.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a little strange, Ray. Go home and drink your cum.
Well, I haven't.
That's what we're saying.
I haven't gone down on a girl yet. So
You haven't?
No, I haven't. That's the one thing. I'm still a virgin in that area.
Oh. So that we were reading about late in lifers and reasons why a lot of people like either choose to or it's just the way it happens. And one of the things that we thought was interesting was, what was it called? Giver complex or something like that?
Yeah, I was very
Like
much
Boy
a giver.
Scout
Yeah.
or something.
What was it?
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story.
Delivery
too.
boy attitude.
Delivery boy attitude.
His story's not done either.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. But then so that happened. I was really drunk and got a blowjob, and then I still wasn't able to like masturbate. Mm-hmm. Then I had a girlfriend who gave me a hand job once. I screwed up though. She gave me a hand job, and I was kind of like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And then I had kind of decided to break up with her, so I broke up with her the next morning.
What?
Oh.
And then even though we date, yeah, I know it was really bad. Yeah, I'm really, yeah, it was. I feel so bad about it. Yeah.
I'm also though really impressed, and this might sound judgmental, but I'd hope it doesn't, but that you were able to get a girlfriend without, like, I've never gotten anyone to date me before fucking me.
Well, she was a virgin. She was very late bloomer too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, she gave me a hand job in my parents' house in Staten Island, and my dad had thrown out my box springs. It was just a mattress. And then and I broke up with her, and she had to walk out in front of my parents. It was so. It's the worst thing I ever did by far. Yeah.
You still talk to her?
No.
If
I
you're
don't think
listening, Freddie, do you apologize?
I feel so bad. Yeah.
Okay, good.
She would still text me. Well, we dated twice more, but she never made me come, which was smart of her.
Did you ever finger her or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I made her come.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
How did you
I made
become
girls
so
come before I
dexterous
made
in that?
myself. I mean, I think
Really?
video games. Yeah, I made women come first. I'm a very unselfish. Yeah, yeah.
You made him
Yeah,
come in
no,
video
so-
games?
I think just the video games you get good with your fingers. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's a real thing.
But the thing that I was going to say before was delivery boy, like, it's not like a syndrome or something, but it's like where people think that they're just there to serve other people. So, like, they'll go down on women or whatever, and then when it's time for them, they're like, oh, no, not me. And I feel like I kind of had that for a long time just because I didn't know it was like an option.
Like most girls
for me
are
to
like
come.
that, too.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
serving
being
the
a
guy. It's
girl.
being a girl.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Delivery boy syndrome is being a woman. Yeah.
I think from this pod, I got that some women are just easier to make, or maybe from life, and some women are easier to make come than others. And I think I got
Definitely.
lucky. Where the first girls I tried to make come were relatively easy, and I was able to figure out where to go, and it just happened.
Did they instruct you, or you were just like, I think I'm gonna fiddle around down here?
I think somewhere it got through that, like, okay, the clitoris is towards the top, and that's. I think that's all still. Yeah, that's the good information. You
That
need.
is the good
You're
information.
trying to get to the top.
Yeah.
And then and then it'll work, and then it does feel like an extremely mini penis, like
Yes.
Yeah, so look for the mini penis at the top. That's, and if it's for a decent
If you
percent of
hit
women,
the hair, you've gone too far.
yeah, for a decent percent of women that's then you can kind of be use your judge, be a human, and you'll make something happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, so you actually have like a really great perception and like insight into girls because you hadn't been able to come for so long.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you were like, this is something people deal with all the time, and
Yeah.
for girls it is. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
and a lot of guys don't have that.
So I didn't come though till I started taking antidepressants, and then I took enough where I started dating girls. Then I took more, and then I was able to masturbate. And I was watching Skinamax,
Really?
and The Witches of Breastwood came on. I just touched myself with my jeans, and it kind of just happened.
You know, SSRIs usually make you less horny and stuff.
Yeah, not me though. Yeah,
That's
I'm
crazy.
the poster child for them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm on Lexapro like a motherfucker, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
so horny.
That's crazy.
Well, nothing can defeat the womanizer though.
No,
Did they ever become a sponsor?
they did.
Okay, thank God. Okay,
Yeah, they
good job by
sponsored 4
them.
episodes last season.
There's no better marketing for them than this podcast.
Yeah,
No.
a lot of our listeners have come for the first time because of womanizer purchases and other suction toy devices. It's not just the only
Totally.
one out there.
Oh yeah. If they're not sponsoring, go to the Pepsi of womanizing.
Yeah, exactly.
When was the first time you had sex?
26. Yeah, in Astoria as well. Yeah, with my wife. I mean, we weren't married. We were just dating. Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, she did then, like, she had a stomach thing, and then did throw up later that night, which was kind of suspicious. Yeah.
You're like, what did I do?
Yeah. So I'm like, I am disgusting. Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm just Jewish. I'm sorry."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, that happened to me the other week.
Yeah.
I had sex with this guy who I'd like been seeing, and he like immediately was puking all night.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I thought you were going to say you were puking.
No,
Twist.
Twist.
Twist. Was your wife a late bloomer as well? And you don't have to answer if she didn't
I don't.
give you consent to be honest.
I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
She had other boyfriends. I don't know that. Yeah.
Cool.
She doesn't like talk about it too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will not tell her this podcast exists. Definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, she doesn't know about this podcast?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. I mean, nobody's sex life is anyone's business except on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were reading about like there's delayed orgasms and then there's like anorgasmia, and you're kind of neither now, but you were.
It was all mental though.
It was all
I
mental.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had where I've been masturbating and then I just like lose it, like it like just.
Sure.
Like, but then I can't come for like 2 more days. Yeah. Because like it's basically I get the effect. I get the refractory period without coming. I've had that
Yeah.
happen.
Oh.
That might be. I'm not sure if that's anorgasmia or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was a refractory one, but I don't know if that is. But nothing comes out. Yeah.
If you can just keep going through it.
No, I've had
you
where
need
I
the
just
delay.
where it happens and I lose it. I also got to a point where I could only ejaculate once every 3 days. And now I'm taking this supplement, and now I'm like back to once every 2 days, and
Okay.
I'm much happier. I was very sad with that.
Yeah.
Do you come during sex?
Yes,
Usually, like,
but I mean it's
always?
only once every
Right, few days.
every couple days.
When was it that you started masturbating? Because I know you went to a doctor for a while to do some like therapizing.
Yeah, I had the psychiatrist, and then they got me on the right antidepressants,
And that just
and that wasn't the goal. But then the which the breast book came on, it all just worked out.
that was just.
And then I would just
yeah.
start doing it more
Yeah.
often. Yeah, once I did it once, I wasn't scared of it. Yeah, similar. Yeah, right. It's like getting a haircut.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta break the barrier.
Yeah. Got to break the seal.
Yeah.
I think you know what he's saying. He's scared and stuff. I think the problem in this country is that we make sex into this scary thing, and they almost make it like it's even worse than violence. You know, like when I was a kid, my aunt was very religious. She would buy me movies, and she would buy me Friday the 13th and Dawn of the Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then one day I come up to her with like 2 horror movies and Barbed Wire with Pamela Anderson. She goes, "I'm not buying you that," and I'm like, "But it's a PG. It was like a PG movie." She goes, "That woman's a harlot." I go, "But it's an action movie." She goes, if you want me to buy that, it's the last thing I'm ever going to buy for you." And they made me put it back. And it's just this fear and this suppression of sex
Totally.
that I think messes us up, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and all 3 of us.
Making it
Yeah.
so forbidden.
You make it like this forbidden, like this dark thing, and it's really not. It's a really good thing, and we just need to get away from that. Where like why are we more accustomed to watching like people blow their heads off than people blowing each other?
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Like even what you were saying, like about the article, you don't recognize yourself. We always say this, that we'll listen to the first episode of this podcast and be like,
We knew nothing.
we knew nothing. What the fuck are we talking about? Purely just from talking about this stuff with people and hearing everyone's experiences. Like it should not be so taboo. It can
Yeah,
really,
but the thing of that Freddy said too, that it wasn't a fear even of sexuality. It was a fear of like as if it was riding a bike, like just a fear of new experience. And if you think of that and you put it in that category and don't make it this like hypersensitive thing, like, oh, I gotta lose it. Nobody else cares when you learn how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do. They're really annoying. They're like, hey, you grew up in the scene and I ride a
Except
bike.
for,
But like,
one of my friends doesn't know how to ride a bike. I feel like she should learn.
I
You know
don't-
who you are.
For the record, I don't know how to ride a bike.
you don't?
No.
And I don't judge you.
Thank you.
Can you drive?
Yes, I don't have a license though, but I can drive.
All right, cool. You have a license?
Yeah, I can drive. Driving's fine because there's no falling in it. That's anything with falling freaks me out. Like, so I can't swim either.
That's the thing, the balance on the bike.
The
Well,
balance,
here's the
yeah.
only reason I judge her for it is because she is the most avid spinner.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
really?
funny.
Cycles, but she doesn't bicycle.
That's so funny. Yeah. Okay. And then another thing that we were just talking about before is the misconception that men who can't orgasm until late in life are less manly, or that they're doing like sex wrong or whatever. And I just think or having sex late in life, like take the manliness thing out of it. Like you can still turn on a witch movie and get an instant boner. That does, or
yeah, definitely.
and also your sexuality shouldn't define what your gender is. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like speaking on my behalf, I mean, I'm pretty much like attracted to every single person on the planet.
Yeah.
Like women, not men.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't like act. I'm not just gonna be like rapey and hitting on everyone. You just keep it in check. But yeah, like just because you're not having sex doesn't mean you don't want to fuck everybody on the planet.
Right.
You know.
And just because you don't want to fuck, I mean, there are asexual people. That doesn't mean he's not a man now.
Yeah.
She's not a woman.
This is a great story. This is a good story. I'm sorry to interrupt everybody. This is
Cunt
a really
wait.
good story.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
I said cunt wait.
Okay.
Damn.
There was this girl I was hanging out with 2 years ago. She lived across the street from me. I'm not going to say who she is, but she's involved in comedy. And I just wasn't interested in her. But I was interested in hanging out with her.
Yeah.
And one night I thought she was kind of making a move, and I really just didn't react to it. And then 2 minutes later, she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go to bed. I was like, all right, cool. She never really hung out with me again. So months later, I was talking to a friend of hers, and she was like saying that like they had a falling out, and she said, "Oh yeah, she told me that you told her that you were asexual and that you weren't interested in having sex." Because I said like Ray's probably hanging out with you to hook up with you. She's like, "No, he's asexual," and I was like, "You fucking asshole! You lied about me being asexual because I didn't like reciprocate your move. Like I was just like not interested. Like I was like she didn't overly say I want to hook up with you, but she like got closer to me, and I was like, okay." You know, and I kept watching the movie because I wasn't interested in her like that.
You know, it's the same thing, guys. I hit on a girl and she says no. It's like, oh, she's a lesbian. Yeah, that's what she did too.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So guys, sex drive is greatly ranged. So yeah, like I, you know, at one point I was once every 3 days, and then I had a guy on my podcast who could have this guy Eric Gonzalez who could have sex 13 times in a day.
Whoa.
So we're the same sexual orientation, the same gender. Yeah, the range is just big, and we're all men.
Yeah.
And that's just biology. That's probably genetic. So
Yes.
yeah, just accept all of us.
Yeah, and it's just like people just don't talk about it. So you don't realize how big that range really is. And you always feel like you're the weirdo.
Right.
But the range is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in movies, the guy can always go again in like 15 minutes, and it's like that was never me at any age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could have went again that night after. I'm glad it hit the buzzer because I was like, all right, time to go.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I also think there's something to be said because you're like, oh, I don't want to be rapey or whatever. Waiting for the girl to make the first move is okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like that just proves she's really ready. Like you've made her wait long enough that she's pouncing.
Well, it's funny because there were some girls I was into, and I didn't like want to be rude or really like make an aggressive move, and we kind of stopped hanging out. And they would always complain to like friends of mine, like I was waiting for him to do something, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I got to go with somebody else, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I really try to make an aggressive move, are you gonna be like, oh my god, like what are you doing? You know what I mean? I don't want to put you in that position where you feel uncomfortable. So you know you have to give up more signs to me that you want me to like just grab you. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just say something.
Yeah, say something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try something or like don't just like sit there and not say anything and then get mad that I didn't like just being aggressive? Maybe that's what they're used to, like guys just being aggressive out of nowhere. You know?
Kind of, because that's what we've been instructed. But do you feel more comfortable now making a first move?
Yeah. I feel more comfortable being blunt about like how I feel about somebody and stuff. Not being blunt, but being honest. I used to be afraid of also say like, "Hey, I'm attracted to you."
Yeah.
Or, I want this to go somewhere. Now I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like girls aren't taught to make the first move at all.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So they will wait and assume someone's not attracted to you if you don't, which is also not a great way of thinking.
No, everybody just needs to be a little more forward.
forward.
Yeah.
Be communicate.
Communicate.
Because the guy might be
the worst
trying
they
to
can
do
say is no.
Yeah.
Then you move on to the next and you save everyone some time. Or they say, hell yeah, let's go bang in a stairwell.
More times it's been girls rejecting me. Like I'm like I finally work up the courage to be like, hey, I like you. They're like, yeah, you see your friend, you know, or something like that. Well, you're like my brother, or something. You made out with me. Well, you know.
I made him my brother once.
I think I'm my brother. It's not that weird. Yeah, no, but that's one situation. If she had said to me like, hey, listen, I'm into you, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll consider it. But like, I just really like talking to you. But I think she kind of got offended and just cut me out of her life after that, which I'm fine with. It was like, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of experience rejecting women. I would say, yeah.
But like not even rejection. Just if I don't know, if someone's going down on you or giving you a hand job and you can't come, like girls often.
Oh, I kept saying
it.
I'm sorry to the prostitute the first hour.
Oh,
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, stop saying you're sorry. And I'm like,
So you know what it's like to feel like
yeah.
yeah.
So I couldn't get hard. I was just too nervous. I was like, I'm sorry. You're really hot. I kept saying like, don't worry, you're really hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this has been a most fun conversation with you guys. Ray, can you tell everyone where they can find you online?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Ray Gootz. Also, I'm on Twitter at Ray Gootz, but I don't really update. Do the Instagram first. And also, you can buy my album at Bandcamp. It's Ray Gootz, Go Down Swinging. So you can buy the album there. Thanks.
Awesome.
My comedy album.
Perfect. Freddie?
Okay, at Orange Freddy G, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, I'm pretty active on both of them, but different stuff. So you try to follow on both. Freddy G with 2 D's and a Y.
That's good content.
You can always follow us at How Come Podcast. And if you want to get some extras, go to patreon.com/howcome. Everything from Patreon goes to support the podcast, and we really appreciate it. We're going to be shouting out some of our new patrons next week. If you're listening to this on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and a review. Follow me and Charlotte individually at Remy Casimir and at Sharkastic. If you join Patreon, even just for $1, you get invited to the Facebook group, which is really fun. And yeah.
I have to ask this at the end of every sexual experience as a good host.
Okay.
Ray,
Yeah.
did you finish?
Oh, yeah, sure. I came all over the place.
Okay, great.
Oh
Freddie?
yeah, no, this episode feels complete. Yeah.
Okay, good. Charlotte, did you finish?
I did you?
I did. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we'll see you next time on How Come.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Say
Oh, yeah.
bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I've still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz